Attention first home buyers, millennials and Gen Z. This one's particularly for you. I'm a mortgage broker based in Melbourne, and this particular video is to address the massive myths, and I'm telling you it's biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life, of that you're needing to have 20% deposit plus costs to enter the property market. Me personally, obviously this is what I do for a living. And I have also been a first home buyer myself personally, and I did not have a 20% deposit on the table when I first purchased my property. So as I said before, 20% plus costs will waive your lender mortgage insurance premium, subject to also your profession. Some professions you only need to have 90% to waive that lender mortgage insurance. Generally it's dentists, doctors, lawyers, fairly high-end income earners, and it's because their income is quite stable and it's an industry which is, generally speaking, earning quite a high income, and the banks tend to see them as a lower risk. Okay, so the other thing that I tell my clients who are in this position trying to figure out how to enter the property market is, have you got somebody in the family, whether it's your sibling, parents, or grandparents who have got property and that they're willing to go as guarantors for you. That can actually expedite your entry into the property market a lot sooner than what you anticipate, as the banks don't need to have a physical cash deposit, because the properties that are being put down, and it's not just one, there is 2 properties being put onto what I call as hurt money down, then that basically waives the cash deposit to enter the property market. The other thing that I personally used to enter the property market, when it was many moons ago, because I am in my 40s now, in 2023 is when this video was done, I heavily relied upon government schemes. So at the time, it was first home buyer grants being given out to first home people like myself at the time. When you're ready to enter the property market, you can have a look at what government grants are available. So with the first home buyers in Victoria, as I said, this video has been done December 2023. The government has got first home buyer schemes where basically you, subject to your borrowing capacity passing, and you're meeting that participating lenders at that particular time, 5% deposit plus costs as the balance of the funds are basically guaranteed by the government instead of being a family guarantor. So it's almost like cut and paste scenarios. One is backed by family, but if you do not have access to that particular wealth transferred down from generations to another, the other entry point is, so long as I said you meet that minimum criteria at the time of your loan being assessed, then you can rely upon those government schemes. The big misconception that I do get across is that the first home buyer grant is the same as that first home guarantee scheme. Completely different. Give me a call if you're wanting to clarify what they are. And the last one is, with the lenders, they do not assess your borrowing capacities the same across the board. Just because you've gone into your branch or your bank or whatever the case might be, and they've said that you do not qualify for a particular loan, because mortgage brokers, we've got database that we push a few little things in and out. Once we sit down and assess your scenarios, you might find that a particular lender over here, A, qualifies you much higher lending capacities than over here. And it might mean, you are entering the property market now, opposed to having to wait 6 to 12 months later down the track because your bank or the first, particular bank that you've approached said no. So with mortgage brokers, we tend to workshop your deals a little bit more because we're not just working with the one bank's policies, we've got access to multiple lenders. So if you're a first home buyer, millennial, Gen Z, or even a little bit older, don't be disheartened and do get your options on the table. So then that way you can make an educated decision to see if something will actually allow you to get into the property market. Rent vesting is another one, and that's for a different topic.